You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, and we have a very special guest for this late afternoon, or this late evening. It's not afternoon anymore, it's evening. Episode, so you definitely want to stick around for that. Right now there's over 26,000 of you guys right now in our chat room, on the phone lines, Google Hangouts, Skype, the browser, all the plugins that we use to run these episodes. You guys are filling them up, and I appreciate that greatly. So let's talk about the little things. You cannot be strong in the big important things if you are weak in the little things. So really, there are no little things when it comes to character and the strength of will. How can you have the will to control a successful business if you can't even control your diet? How can you be a successful artist and you don't even write songs or record songs? How can you make your mark on the world when you can't even get out of bed on time? How can you be free to pursue your vision when you are a slave to your petty indulgences? Success and achievement requires strength. That strength comes not in an instant jackpot, but from a moment-to-moment cultivation of the will. You must first lift smaller weights if you're, going to build big muscles. Likewise, strength of character comes first from winning the smaller battles and the ones which challenge you every moment. Be diligent in the little things because they work together to make the big things. Take that from me, Dini-Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or the book, or film, or even the business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create these marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. Big ups to my folks who are indigos, crystalline, or the starseeds, for my Vigilantes audience family, for my hooligans, and shout out to my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're in the struggle like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 5 solid years. I appreciate to all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, films, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology revolutionaries, visual artists, from authors to professors, and vampires. Or people who think they're vampires. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out to book your interview or to appear on my other show called Skeptics. Email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. We hope to get the stories behind these unique people and give them a chance to tell their truth to us and the universe. That is Vigilantes Radio sole purpose. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Share that number with your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab them from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, Player.fm, YouTube, any app from the Google Play or iTunes store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
All right, guys, today's interview is the Barz Da Lyricist interview, and again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. So you guys, you know, we spend a lot of time cultivating, you know, things for the media, things for social media, things for social issues. And I just want to thank you guys for who got involved this weekend while we were out in Alabama doing some what do you want to call it, community service? Yeah. So thanks for swinging in if you were in the area and helping us out. I flew in on Monday, and I just got back to town yesterday, so I'm pretty tired, but life goes on, the mission goes on. We got to do what we got to do. Like I said, I appreciate you guys who did show up and help with that project out there. We'll be doing another one in Memphis next week, I believe. So stop by the website and pick up some information on how you can be a part of that. If you want to meet me, I will be there. I'm not like I'm somebody, you know, super important, but yeah, I'll be there. I promise. So our interviews go beyond the music, the books, the magazines, the movies, the products, and even sometimes the ego. We go into the minds of authors, artists, bands, CEOs who create these marvelous aspirations. From researching our special guests, mining for details, and watching, reading, listening to everything we can, our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers possible through thought-provoking questions that have real substance. So I know the other day we did an interview, and you heard me talking in my Jamaican dialect or accent. And guys, just so you know, I am, you know, Jamaican American and Cherokee. So that's where I was around a lot of family, and sometimes you got to switch between the two. And so since I was around them, you know, you have to talk to where they can understand you. Not saying they don't understand a crisp American, you know, thing, but I'm from the South, so, you know, sometimes my words aren't always clear. I don't always enunciate my words correctly. It's just from, you know, the environment that I was raised in. But yeah, when you're around them, you have to talk, you know, the way they talk. And if you listen, sometimes it don't really make sense. I mean, it's like you could say, where is the book? But when you're talking in Jamaican, it's like, what the book day? You're like, what? What the book day? What the world does day have to do with the end of the... But anyway, it's it's fun, man. I get a lot of girls, but that's another story. So let's go ahead and invite the guests on before I get in trouble. Somebody may be listening that has, you know, that shouldn't be listening. But anyway, here is Barz Da Lyricist. Hey, man, what's up? Welcome to the show.
What's up? Thank you for having me. I appreciate being on the show, actually.
Hey, yeah, man, and we are super excited to have you, man. Before the show, man, I was just watching this, like, Facebook conversation go on in real time, just two girls being petty, man. It was so funny, man. So right. I'm kind of tickled behind it. But, man, it's 2019, and that's one of the things that we should have left behind in 2018 is being petty. How's it working for you? Are you being stricken by the petty curse?
No, definitely. That's the opposite of me. I just do the exact opposite. Just mind my own business, right? That's how I go about. Yeah, that's how I go about most of my days. Just problem-free, carefree, right?
Yeah. He must be a superhero or something, man.
I don't like to get into a lot of
deflect
drama.
petty. I feel you. But let me ask you this: is that a necessary emotion, though? I mean, you can't be like sunshine and lollipops and daffodils all the time, can you?
No, yeah, that's true. No, trust me, when I'm irritated, I'm irritated. But I'm just saying I don't lean towards being petty. Or if I am petty, sometimes I'm sarcastic at times. But as far as just naturally being petty, no, that's not a typical action to me. I try not for it to be, at least. Sometimes you just can't help it for certain situations.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that's not a normal reaction of mine.
Right on, yeah, man. I'm like you, man. Sarcastic is like my second language. And I've been working on being petty for like 3 years now. So I don't really go on Facebook and, expose people or be petty. Even though I want to sometimes,
Yeah, it'd be like that.
I want to. All right, man. So, yeah, man, we're glad you were here. 2019 is here. Yeah, I think we're on, day 20? We're 20 days in. I haven't even started on goals and aspirations. What about you?
See, I did. I plotted out everything. Me and my girlfriend, we plotted it out together. Plotted out the whole year.
Look at you, man. You're so smart, man.
Yeah, smooth. Thank you.
And you included your girlfriend. You're like super smart.
I had to. Great involvement.
Yeah. Nice.
Huge involvement. Yes.
Okay. I have my notebook out here just in case I need to take some notes from you, man. You seem to
okay.
know what to do.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So, of course, again, thank you, for your time. Lots going on with you, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, man. So, from your perspective, man, what's your life like right now in this moment? And how did being an artist come to be?
Okay, so, I work 9 to 5. I get off, come home and create instantly. Come home, create and write. If it's not right away, I relax. And then I do something creatively. At least once a day, I have to do something creatively to keep that passion up. Listen to music, have record players, have some vinyl. Just chilling out, vibing out. I'll watch TV. I'll listen to my muse, talk to my muse. And that's typically how my day is.
Yeah. Okay. So let's back up for a bit.
Okay.
How did you become Barz Da Lyricist?
So I became Barz Da Lyricist by basically just freestyling a lot in high school. That name was given to me in 9th grade. In 9th grade, someone gave me that name because I freestyled a lot. In the middle hallway, it's called B House. So they were like, just call him Barz. That's all. What he's doing every time we after the freestyle, he gives us nothing but bars. Then around February 2017, I remember the exact date. I took a picture. I changed it to Barz Da Lyricist because of my exact style I wanted to give off was more lyricism, and that's how that came about. Yeah.
Okay. So, what was your life like as a younger Barz Da Lyricist?
So I came a long way. Basically, I wasn't always accepted, to be honest. A lot of times I was ridiculed in my upbringing for being on that positive, chill vibration, where when I was coming up, it was 2012 to 2016 era when I started coming up as younger Barz Da Lyricist, and a lot of that was when drill started coming out crazy. Chief Keef started coming out. So that's what everyone was doing. And I was on Mac Miller, Joey Badass, the J. Cole, the Chance. I was on listening to those tunes coming up. So that's how my life was. That's how my lifestyle was. So they were calling me weird and lame. But that hatred made me motivated, pushed me harder, and wanted to prove that I'll be somebody amazing and that it's okay to be different. And I wanted to show that coming up. So, and now I'm here, which is crazy, and I'm still the same exact persona.
Definitely. Did you always grow up in Washington?
No. I grew up in Newport News, Virginia. So 757, Virginia. I got stationed here. I'm in the military, so I got stationed to Tacoma, the Joint Base Fort Lewis. Yeah, and that's how I got Tacoma, Washington. I'm never been on the West Coast, so I came over here.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, man, salute to you and thank you for serving for our country.
Thank you.
No doubt, man. So, do you feel any pressure, man, to succeed with this music thing?
I feel no pressure to succeed, but of course I would like to succeed. Like, basically in my mind, it's like, who wouldn't want to do what they love and succeed doing what they love? That's how I look at it. But it's no pressure, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure at all?
No, it's no pressure to succeed because I'm real spiritually oriented, so I feel like no matter what, God has me.
Yeah.
No matter what avenue, I'll be fine.
Definitely. So, what kind of concepts are you talking about in your music?
So, some concepts are life, happiness, like love, elevation, just simple concepts, nothing too serious, just things that I can express.
Right on. So, is your music only for like the hipsters and new age listeners, or could the trappers and hood dudes, get involved with it as well?
Yeah, definitely. Anyone could get involved. It's like, depending on how you're feeling. Will depend if you want to listen to that specific song or not. If you have things for people that want to dance, things for people that want to have lit vibration, or people that just want to chill out. I'm all over the place with the sound.
Nice.
It's for anybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how do you know, or how do you feel that you know when you've gotten your point across in one song? That there doesn't need to be a part two or a extension of a verse. You can just go off the 2 to 3 minutes that you have.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes I just simply know. It's kind of weird to explain, but sometimes I simply get that gut feeling like, yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted. Most times, though, I listen to the final record about 5 times after first finishing it, and I listen from my perspective as the artist creating the song. But then I listen again from the audience's perspective. I see from the verses, the hook, the production, like the delivery, if the message would be conveyed well from their side. Like, is this theme going to be sent to their head, listening from their perspective? And then if I get a yes from both sides, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to put this out. I think the theme matches. I think the message matches. Yeah, I always have that two-step process.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, performances. Well, let's back up a minute.
Okay.
How many projects do you have out there now on the market?
Let's see. I have Yellow Room. I have Red Room. I have 3 projects. I have Yellow Room, Red Room, and Night Sky. 2 EPs and 1 tape. I have Strawberry Lemonade as well, so that's an additional EP. And then I have Coolin' I Get It. Yeah, Coolin' I Get It. So that's 2 singles. I have a good bit of projects out there already. Then I have an additional single that'll be in April. So be on the lookout for that. I started January 1st, 2018 with the Yellow Room project, and then just started spreading out projects over time on the market.
Definitely. And Red Room is your most latest project, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So I was reading that a little bit on how, you're into the colors and how they invoke emotions and feelings. And now, see, I'm like the 4th grader. I'm like a 4th grader, and not the smart one, like the one who sits in the back of the class picking his nose. That was me. So as I was, doing the research and everything, I started to think. My brain said, "Hey, man, red. Sometimes that is love, and sometimes it is anger." And then I start to think about the thin line between the two. Your EP touched along the lines of love, right? Just the love part, and not really the other side of love. And it's not necessarily hate, but it is definitely a strong emotion on that thin line that we all talk about.
Yeah, because it could have went two ways.
Yeah.
Could have went anger. It could have expressed anger for red, but I went love route, love, desire. Yeah.
I mean, was there a reason just to stay on the love side of the line and not cross the other?
Felt it was easier. I just felt it was more broad. It was more to express I expressed more love in my life than I did hate. So it was more to talk about love, especially having a current relationship. It was just so much I could put into songs with love rather than records of hatred or hate or just anger.
And the world does need more love, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some people.
Yeah.
All right. So, with all those bodies of works, right, how often are you hitting the stage?
Not that often, but when I do, that's why I make sure I put everything into my performances, like as if I have to perform or my career is done. That's how I be looking at it. Like, I put so much energy into my performances. It's like maybe 2 or 3 each year. I'm trying to do more though, but yeah, when I do put everything into it, there's this Dream Fest one in June, so I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool deal. Any shows coming up?
Yeah, there's no shows coming up right now except for that one, Dream Fest, and that's in Maryland in June. But other than that, no, I'm just focusing on these records. That gives me more time though to really focus on these records and think on what I'm going to be putting out. Really just relax and really enhance my creative space while I'm on this downtime. And then during the performances, that's when I could just go all out performing and letting them realize, hey, this artist is going to go crazy performing what he's been working on in that downtime. You see?
Yeah. So are you working on something new?
Yeah, I'm working on, I already recorded it. It's the single Sailing, which is like just simple vibrations, but it's like basically showing that I'm able to progress and elevate despite the battles or trials, just like sailing through anything that basically was difficult to me. I'm sailing regardless. It's gonna be a nice record. Fully done, as I said. Can't wait to put it out April at the release.
Definitely. So I had a question, man. But it just flew out of my mind. It's that 4th grader coming back into play. But yeah, here it is. So with all those projects, man, and this is a question I ask a lot of artists.
Right.
What is the proper time to give a project for it to breathe, for it to grow before you begin to take all the energy and focus into something new?
See, I always have a release schedule, so it's like it really depends on the moment too. It depends on what's going on around as far as other artists, which I don't want to base it off other artists, but sometimes if it's a lot of energy where a whole bunch of artists are releasing, of course I wouldn't want to put out something at that time frame. So I try to have a project out, then let it like boost, have the campaign, have the rollout, all that, have the marketing be boosted. And then when it starts to die down, which I know when it starts to die down, that's when I start to work on another project. But sometimes if the energy is crazy, then I already start working on projects and then just don't put it out until like maybe a month or so later. So it really just depends. Yeah. also depends if it's a single or if it's the album that I'm trying to push. Yeah, because that's two different releases. Single that could be put out maybe like a week or so after putting out an album, because it could just be follow-up heat. But album, if I put out an EP after just putting out an album or just putting out a single, that's going to have to be spread out way behind, maybe like some months or two.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Is that based off of traction or just eagerness to put something new into the universe?
A little of both.
A little both? Okay.
Blended, really blended. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, these other artists that are commercial and mainstream, they drop songs and EPs like it's nothing.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like when I'm rising, it's like I want to be on that quality over quantity, but at the same time, I want to give them something every once in a while too, so they still have substance to listen to. Like, you listen to the same thing for months now. Give us something, basically. So
right. Yeah.
That's how I look at it too.
Yeah, it used to be a thing where you can put out a project and live off of it for an entire year, like campaign, interview, magazines, blogs, radio, shows, concerts, touring for a whole year. Exactly. But now it is not the case. It's like you have a month and then you need to come out with something new. Yeah,
that's how it's just crazy. It's like everyone, what's on now? That's why. Yeah. But it's crazy because I have a different mindset. It's like I'm more focused on longevity than anything.
Yeah.
I want my records to last. Like I'm thinking of the sounds of tomorrow rather than the sounds of today.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So is there anything that you would like to explore in your music over time that you haven't yet?
So I was thinking on this. I don't want to do it too often, but maybe one single or so. I love to play with alternative sounds in the future, like that. Those songs that you play on the opening of a movie, driving down the car on a rainy day. Like I love that soundtrack song. Even if the sound is just alternative production, and my usual style just played over that. But I also think that my music could be like a movie, show, or commercial. Like even like a show like Atlanta, that'd be dope. Like Empire, Stars, things like that. Insecure, if my music was on an Insecure HBO show soundtrack, that would be dope. So just things like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so this one is wide open question as it can get. What are the qualities in a song or project that leads it to become timeless? And you can cite anything or anyone you want to, or reference any time in our musical history, but I love to hear your perspective on what ingredients are, or what the ingredients are that could turn a full body of work or even a song into legends.
Okay, yeah. I always think what makes something timeless is the fact that the record doesn't sound dated at all. It doesn't have a time stamp on it. Like, oh, this obviously came out 2016, or this obviously came out in the 90s. You just can't tell. That's time literally by definition to me. Like, there's no time. It doesn't sound completely like a certain decade, or it doesn't sound like the current record's out, but it either completely sounds different in its own time frame, or has a great mixture of either current and old, or current and never heard of. Like, Britney Spears is a great example, because she was on something completely new. Like, that whole Toxic, the Kissing Baby. Like, she was on something that people never heard of, so they were like, either who is this, or we need to keep listening to it. Like, years down the line. J. Cole, Force Hills Drive will be timeless to me always. That nostalgia effect. Or I remember where I was when it's released. Like, Love Yours record. Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. Never lose time. Like, Think About Me records from that will always be timeless. I'm trying to think of who are Illmatic by Nas. Thriller, always. Anti by Rihanna even. Like, Control by SZA, His Beat by SZA, always be timeless to me. Just many different records, I think, at the time. Like, and because they all have that blend of either current and old or current and never heard of, as I said.
Definitely got to agree with that, man.
I try to put that in my record.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. One day we'll be, hearing about it or seeing you accept your award to the Hip Hop Hall of Fame or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That would be great. You guys speaking,
yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. So what time of day do you personally feel like you do your best writing?
Definitely the nighttime. I call it nocturnal productivity. Nocturnal productivity.
Yeah.
Like during the day, I'm like just chilling out. During the night, I'm like open to anything, open to just jam out, play some boom bap production, play some jazz, and just write, and just listen to songs. That's when I'm just up, especially on the weekend.
Man, does it get on your girl nerves being up like that?
No, she's so supportive. She pushes me so hard, giving advice and stuff. Cool. Yeah, she boosts the creative space I have, actually.
Yeah, I'm a night owl, so it seems like every girlfriend I get, they're not cool with that I'm always up. And it's like, come to bed. Like, nah, I can't sleep yet. Can't sleep. So much to do.
Yeah, I feel that. But I'm up with her. She's up with me.
Okay. That's cool. You got a real one.
Yeah.
Maybe I just mess with a bunch of sleepyheads. I don't know. But nah, man, I be up at weird times of the day, like 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, early.
And then turn around and get up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I can't do that. I be up for a certain amount. Yeah, I get knocked out.
Nah, man, no sleep game for real.
Nah, I can't do that. Because I gotta have rest too. Gotta rest my sleep too.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Everybody's not an android like me, but I dig it. Alright, man.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding. But I do sleep every now and then. But sleep is very important, kids. If you're under the age of 14 and you're listening to the show, get your rest.
Yeah.
You don't want to grow up looking like you're 45 and you're only 15. Trust me, I know a few. All right, man. So what themes resonate with you more strongly than others when it comes to your music?
Really, there's not a certain thing that resonates more. It's like, I take any aspect or side and create, even if it doesn't release, or just take anything. Like, I really try not to focus on certain things over another. It just depends on the environment I'm in when opening my creative space. Yeah. Whatever I'm feeling, that's what I express and write about.
Yeah. What kind of subjects interest you when it comes to music?
The subjects are like
especially when you listen to like other people's music.
Yeah. Like love, life, just living in the moment, being free.
Yeah.
Like when people jam out and they make records and they talk about just like being, not even being happy or a certain emotion, just like talking about how they are right now. There's certain stance in life, just like being free, just where you just vibing out. Like Andre 3000, how he would make records just on anything. You don't even know sometimes it's not even a certain message. You just like flowing and you're like, okay, you nodding your head. It's like whatever you're feeling. I'm more on expression than anything. Just expressing yourself.
Right on. All right, cool deal. All right, guys. Our usual tradition is called the hot seat. And our fans love this part of the segment, of course, along with the actual interview. But the audience will get a chance to hear from Barz either some vocals, maybe he'll sing for us, maybe he does poetry, spoken word, freestyle raps, jokes, stories, live instruments. You never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. And today we'll find out if Barz the Lyricist has what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for right now, we have my man's Barz the Lyricist with his song, Soul. We'll be right back.
I've seen so many avenues, I've seen many journeys, but I ain't never seen it so word that is displayed before me. Stories coming along my life, but this will be the best story. And this one I found my wife, and I get God of glory. Different views, different perspectives, but we share the same spirit. If this love was on the surface, then I just wanna smear it. Wear it, I tear it, I would display it in every matter. If this love cover the canvas, I would make sure it's better. I wanna see the sun shine, even through the disasters. I just wanna intertwine the souls, loving you and never letting go. Mountaintops and valleys, bumpy roads. Loving you is never getting old. And yes, you are so complimentary. This bond is forever in the wild. And I just wanna intertwine the souls, loving you and never letting go. Mountaintops and valleys, bumpy roads. Loving relax, cuddle perhaps. I want your love, I'm thinking of you all the time. Love that you're mine, you're hard to find. You are a dime, connect the soul, come feed the mind. Let's take a trip, enjoy the climb. Let's spend some time, come dance and wine. I'll get behind. I just wanna intertwine our souls, loving you and never letting go. Mountaintops and valleys, bumpy roads. Loving you is never getting old.
Being in this red room, what do you picture? What do you envision as you're walking in? Is it love? Is it lust? Is it desire? Or is it passion? How about anger? Have you ever been pissed the fuck off before? Well, we all have. Tell me, what do you envision in this red room?
All right, and we are back. That was Barz the Lyricist with his song Soul. What a groovy piece of record there. I love it. Pain is a lesson waiting to be learned. And by paying heed to the lesson, we can transcend the pain. If you touch a hot iron, it is painful. If you neglect to learn anything from that experience, the pain the pain keeps coming back each time you touch that hot iron. When you learn the lesson that the pain has to teach and avoid touching the hot iron, you never have to endure that pain again. What can you learn from the pain in your life? In every pain, there is a lesson. Sometimes it's a lesson of avoiding mistakes. Other times it is a lesson of learning to accept, value, and triumph over the challenges we face. Have you learned that you cannot get something for nothing? Or is your pain still trying to teach you that? Have you learned to live with purpose and focus? Or are you still enduring the pain of learning that lesson? Free yourself from pain by learning what it has to teach. Take that from me, Dini-Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond. Right now, let's bring back the man of the moment, Barz Da Lyricist. You're back live with us and in our hot seat. What are you going to perform for us?
I could perform Entrance Yellow Room, what started off everything.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. They want the green to paint my scene, but they don't peep the spectrum that I see. I see in ultraviolet, the news push ultra violent. So now in the streets got scarlet tattoos. Bad news, that so-called happy people are feeling blue. Is it true? The white privilege is aligned throughout the system, and the prison is a blackout. You can't back out on the reality, of brutality from police on these great streets. I see lies but no life, people breathing just existing, hearing but do they listen? Raspberry moon as I see couples kissing, reminiscing on my days. It's such a craze, people trapped in a maze, they cannot escape their ways. I said love, a lust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, bond or tight soul, loyalty, trust. What color are you? Green, red, or blue? Be the one to choose as you're in this yellow room. I said cash rules everything around me. Yeah, cash rules everything around me. Yeah, cash rules everything around me. Come up in my room. Come up in my yellow room. Come up in my 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 room. Come up, come up, come up, come up. I said step right in my room. Say hello. Step right in my room. It's yellow. Cashews, everything around me. Cashews, everything around. Cashews, everything around me. Cashews, yeah. Yeah, Yellow Room. That's the start off everything. That's why I chose to perform that.
Nice. I like that,
Thank
man.
you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Let everybody know where they can connect with you online.
Barz Da Lyricist _ that's on Instagram, that's on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. That's how I keep everyone updated. That's my most active platform, Twitter and Instagram.
Definitely. All right, guys.
Yeah,
just
B-A-R-Z.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
BARZ DALYRICIST _ Barz Da Lyricist. It's all together. That's on both platforms.
Definitely. All right, guys, just in case you need those links, I have them in the description of this episode, so all you have to do is click the links and it'll take you right to it. Man, Barz Da Lyricist, I appreciate you, man, for your time and effort in answering my crazy questions. Much appreciation.
Great questions. I appreciate being on here.
All right, man, you have a good one.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is sharing. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.